Greetings and salutations, people of the internet. Austin here. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content like this in the future if you like what you see here today. Without further ado, let us begin with the topic of this video, which, if you've been following this series, is my rewrite of the Jason Todd, aka the Arkham Knight. Without further ado, let's begin. Out of all the elements in Arkham Knight that severely disappointed me and fans, I think Jason Todd probably stands head and shoulders above the rest of it as the most disappointing element and character. Jason had so much potential to be an amazing main villain in Arkham Knight, considering the revised backstory Rocksteady gave him, and due to the mishandling of his character and the story as a whole, we never got the full impact Jason could have had in the Arkhamverse. So, this is probably going to be one of the longer, if not the longest, rewrite of this series, so get comfy, people. So, I really enjoyed the basis of what Rocksteady was doing with Jason's character, with him being tortured by the Joker for a year in the abandoned wing in Arkham. So I am keeping that and expanding on everything onwards. So this will primarily take place after Jason has been shot by the Joker for almost revealing Bruce's identity to him. The Joker leaves, and sometime later, as Jason is just barely clinging to life, a mysterious person enters in the room and finds the dying sidekick. It is Hugo Strange, who, using his ties to Ra's al Ghul, has been keeping an eye on the Joker just in case, as Arkham's most deranged and dangerous occupant. He finds the dying Jason and he brings him to Ra's al Ghul, who, deciding to use Jason to further his own games just in case Bruce continues to fail to be his successor, he uses the Lazarus Pit in addition to just using his resources to heal Jason, and he begins to train him to be a member of the League of Assassins. Flash forward a bit to Arkham City. Jason is a member of Tiger in disguise, though he's being told by Ra's and Hugo to lay low and do not confront Batman. Just watch him from afar and keep an eye on him. So Jason's watching him through the scope of his sniper rifle. His finger just constantly touching the trigger, wanting to blow Bruce's head clean from his shoulders. But he restrains himself as he keeps an eye on Batman's communications as we get closer to Protocol 10. Then, Protocol 10 happens. Bruce does everything that happens in Arkham City. Then, just as Hugo lies dying at the hands of Ra's al Ghul, he activates Protocol 11, which has more meaning this time around aside from just self-destructing Wonder Tower. It was a signal to Jason to put his own plans into motion. Ones that were a last resort, if anything else. Jason rushes off towards Hugo's office to collect a very special item. The base armor for the Arkham Knight. Now, if you're wondering where this armor came from, I am having it be the Batman costume, or just costume in general, that Riddler alluded to in his interview tapes with Hugo Strange in Arkham City. Go check those out if you need a refresher as to what I'm talking about. But I feel this way, we have more of a tie to the previous Arkham games, which I think Arkham Knight didn't have enough of. And it'd be a nice way to expand on Hugo Strange's legacy a bit, since he got the shaft in Arkham City, let's face it. There's no denying that Hugo was underutilized, but I'm not here to rewrite Arkham City. Well, I might do that in the future if I get desperate enough, but moving on. So, Jason confiscates the proto-Arkham Knight costume and siphons off some major funds from Arkham City / the League of Assassins. He uses that as a... Then he moves to Brazil to begin his training of his own personal army, some of which is comprised of former League of Assassins members, primarily the combat experts who are basically the ninjas from Arkham City and Origins. I feel that'd be a nice way to expand on that, as the League of Assassins also could have been utilized more in Arkham Knight, though the Shadow War side mission was decent, but I will be expanding on that, so look forward to that in another video. But now, this time around, instead of Jason revealing his identity so late in the game, I'm going to reveal it about halfway through. Though, my math might be off on that, but I'm going to reveal it during the brief confrontation Bruce and Jason have after Bruce has taken down the rocket launcher on Founders Island. Bruce is asking, "Who are you?" like he does in the original game. Jason leans into Bruce's ear with his voice unfiltered. He says, "Your biggest mistake, Bruce." Then he escapes and the brief fight ensues. After Batman takes down the malicious soldiers, he radios Alfred the terrible news. Jason's alive, and he's the Arkham Knight. Alfred, in a moment of desperation, radios Jason personally using the open comms network, which once Jason gets the message from Alfred, he switches it to a private one. Alfred implores Jason to come home so they can be a family again, so they can heal the damage that's been done to him and help him just let go of all the hate that is just eating him alive from the inside. Jason briefly considers it, but then he remembers everything that Bruce has done, all the people that the Joker and his ilk have killed. And he doubles down. He says he's not going to hurt Alfred, but he has to stay out of the way. And Bruce is going to die tonight. And nothing's going to change that. Then he cuts off the comms. Then, I feel this way, once we go to the Panessa Studios bit, the flashbacks will have even more impact now that we know it's Jason, and this way we get the reason why he hates Bruce so much, or at least the foundation of his hatred for Bruce in the Arkhamverse. But, I'm going to skip a little bit as I don't have the complete rewrite I would have liked, since I'm not doing this beat for beat in the game completely. So I am jumping to the Cloudburst sequence. Jason has activated the Cloudburst and just sent Gotham into a fear-induced hellscape, as it was in the original game. Though, his plan is now coming into effect. You see, unlike in the original game where he just wanted to kill Bruce, I'm deciding to take a cue from Under the Red Hood, which basically has the best version of Jason to date. So Jason's new plan is as follows. He used Scarecrow to evacuate as much of the Gotham populace as possible, since he didn't want any civilians getting caught up in the crossfire for what he plans to do. He gathered together some of the biggest supervillains and crime bosses in one location with the common goal of killing Batman and making Gotham their own, not knowing what Jason had planned for them. Once he activates the Cloudburst, he plans to kill every single major criminal in Gotham and seize control of the Gotham underworld. as he felt that Hugo and Raish had it the wrong way with their plans in Arkham City. He argues you can't kill crime completely. There will always be crime. But the best way to mitigate the damage is to control it with an iron fist. So that's what he plans to do. After he activates the Cloudburst, he's going to let the remaining criminals in Gotham kill each other in a blind panic while sending drones to pick out all the survivors. And once Gotham has been freed of most of its criminal population, Jason will come in and take over Gotham and do what Bruce couldn't do. Make it really safe in his eyes. Because he felt Bruce, if he had just killed these monsters in his eyes, Gotham would be safer. Jason wouldn't have had to go through what he did. Barbara would still be able to walk. All the people the Joker alone has hurt, mangled, and mutilated would still be living normal lives. He may not be angry at Bruce for not saving him completely, but he cannot forgive Bruce for allowing Joker and the fellow monsters of Arkham and Blackgate to have free reign in Gotham for as long as they have, and terrorizing its populace. He's had enough. So, after the Cloudburst boss fight takes place, and Jason and Bruce are on that roof, at least briefly, instead of it being a hallucination, I actually want it to be Jason so they can have a brief verbal confrontation. Bruce is just ordering Jason, stand down, Jason, let me help you. Jason replies, help me? You're gonna help me like you helped everyone else in Gotham? You're just going to let this cycle continue of all these monsters just terrorizing Gotham, and you just throw them in jail and they just come out like it's a revolving door. No. Not again. Bruce throws a punch at Jason before it's revealed to be a hallucination. Jason has briefly escaped. Now, we're going to cut over in time to the militia HQ in the abandoned mall. I still want to do the excavator fight, as routine as it is, if just to see the Batmobile destroyed. And I liked Jason's monologue, even if it ultimately meant nothing in that one sequence. But it's what comes after that that has me excited. So, after taking out the thugs that are surrounding Gordon, Jason appears to Bruce, holding a gun to his head, where he reveals his face with the Joker brand on his cheek. He's here to end this right here, right now. Man to man. He lets Gordon go as he no longer has need of him. A barrier comes around in that one section of the militia HQ where Gordon is being kept, walling Bruce and Jason in as electricity courses through the barricade. Gordon on the other wall trying to find a way in to help Bruce. Jason puts down his visor once again and he readies himself for battle. That's right, we're having a hand-to-hand fight with Jason as the first stage of this boss fight. Something I felt we really should have had in Arkham Knight, but we didn't. And this time around, I want Jason to be the hardest one-on-one fight in the entire game. So I am basically making him an amalgam of all the militia's abilities up to this point in some form or fashion. So, he has the ability to electrify himself like the medics are able to do to some of their allies. So Bruce has to use the Batclaw to get rid of the charge, as the Batclaw is useless against Jason's chest armor, as indicated in some promotional material before Arkham Knight came out. And like the brute soldiers during the raid of the GCPD, he has the ability to swap through 3 different weapon sets. Either electrical gloves, the shield, or retractable swords. Though I think Jason could mix and match as he pleases, so he goes for a shield and sword combo, making him more like an Arkham Knight. Okay, you see what I did there. But, yeah. I think this is the best way to go about this. Have Jason be the ultimate test of your physical ability, so you have to use every trick you know to beat Jason, as he is just as prepared as you are, though I don't think he has as many gadgets in his disposal at this point to use, but his arsenal is vast. Afterwards, I think you could do the sniper duel, as in with the original game, though with some also major alterations. 1. Jason's armor does not appear to detective mode. Much like his personal guard, he has outfitted himself in a way that Bruce cannot detect him. 2. I think he should move constantly between vantage points if he can't find Bruce. So, he is hunting you as you are trying to find a way to grapple up and take him down. I also feel that perhaps he should have a mine launcher as an option, so he can place them routinely down around the map from afar, but you still have to use the disruptor to take them out. I don't know. I'm a little iffy on that one, but you get the basic gist. I just want to take what was there in Arkham Knight and just crank it up to 11. So after you take Jason down, and we get that original cut scene in Arkham Knight, with Jason's face partially visible through the Red Hood visor as he points a gun shakily at Bruce, just venting at him before he disappears into the night, only to show up later in the finale. Speaking of the finale, I'm not going to touch up on Jason there that much, since he really doesn't do anything in the main game. And I'm going to be rewriting... Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think if Jason kept that portion from Arkham Knight, the ending could still work in my version, so I'm going to do that. Jason still shoots one of the manacles, holding Bruce down as he prepares to fight Scarecrow. Now, I'm going to leave that there, as I'm going to be detailing that in the next video where I talk about the ending and Scarecrow's handling in my version of Arkham Knight. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to cut it off here, as I wish I had scripted this a bit more, but I just want to get my thoughts out of the way here and now. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like it, drop a comment on how you would have liked to have seen Jason handled in Arkham Knight, some of your own ideas on what I could have added to this version, or just general tips on how I can make these videos better for you guys, so I can hopefully get more traffic here. If you liked here, spread it around on social media. My Twitter's in the description. And I want to try and maybe hit 10 subscribers before the halfway of February. So if you want to subscribe, please do that. That'd mean a lot. Have a nice day, guys. Austin out.